We got Jimmy High Roller, the most insane NBA take I've ever seen. Let's see. Oh! Russell Westbrook, he's not gonna stop this team. Russ probably didn't say Harden or PG. It's not Russ. Russ did his thing in the playoffs. He's got his hands in his pocket. Not like Doc Rivers. You know, Doc Rivers have his hands on his knees bent over on the sidelines.
Right. I just busted right inside him, and he can't extend on me anymore, and he seems a little overwhelmed by my girth and tonnage, right?
He actually said that? Goodness, bro. I'm surprised he hasn't seen this. He probably seen this.
Why do we do this to ourselves? Have we as NBA fans collectively decided we're just gonna have the most dog water opinions in all of sports?
Damn, no! What would they do? What is y'all problem?
I too
It's not that serious.
am guilty of this. And today, we're gonna take a look at some of the hottest
I thought it was the other way around. They ball hog. They don't give the ball to Wemby.
and some of the best
Popovich had to yell at them for them to give the ball to Wemby.
NBA takes I've come across recently. So buckle up. It's about to get ugly.
I'm a guy who loves
Dang it, Jimmy!
and my
Hold on, Jimmy. You sponsored by Allstate? I didn't know you had Allstate.
Today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek. With
Max.
I have something to admit. I have a sick obsession with bad NBA takes. I can't help to admit.
You gotta watch the full thing. Okay. How about Max?
I have something to admit. I have a sick obsession with bad NBA takes. I can't help myself. Why I choose to dive headfirst into this dark and desolate rabbit hole far too often is beyond me. It's an addiction, really. I need help. And while scrolling for way too long the other day, I came across this, a gold mine. Will this Reddit thread contain some of the most devious nonsense I've ever laid eyes on? Yes.
Bron over Jordan.
All of it? Absolutely. Because I too.
Yeah, of course he'll be saying this. Let me pause the video. Dang, Bron over Jordan, bro. Of course he would be saying this. Someone has Bron over Jordan would say this. Let me see some hot takes.
Because I too
go
want to
crazy.
Go insane. And after seeing this comment, I knew it was time for another hot takes video. Now, our first take comes from former NBA player Rashard.
Who said that? Xola. Smart.
Another hot takes video. Now, our first take comes from former NBA player Rashard McCants, who came up with a diabolical take while on a podcast with Gilbert Arenas a few weeks ago.
I think that the real hoopers know that Kevin Durant is going to go down as a better, I think, better basketball player
than LeBron.
Than LeBron. At the end of the road, not right now. Just as much hype as LeBron, you know, Texas and DC assault, all that stuff. It's like, well, why is KD not being seen as top 3 all time?
Because the media killed off the legacy when he left.
When he left, yep.
Now, the take itself is one thing, because in no universe would KD ever be regarded as a better basketball player than LeBron. But I actually want to address why this clip is a prime example of how just because someone played in the NBA doesn't necessarily mean they're an expert on basketball. You see it all the time. Fans using opinions of current and former NBA players to justify their stance on something NBA related. But the truth is,
ESPN got rid of Jalen Rose, bro. They got rid of Mark Jackson. That told me right there. Yeah, they don't care.
You can be exceptional at something and still have a wild or even completely wrong take on it. I mean, just a couple months ago, Shaq unironically asked what's the difference between Wemby and Bol Bol. Steven Jackson, a once really good NBA player, said he was better than Manu Ginobili, Ray Allen, and Vince Carter.
Give me a guy that you think you're better than, that it'll be a Hall of Famer. Ray Allen.
Definitely Ray Allen.
Vince Carter.
I think as a player, yes.
Manu Ginobili.
I definitely think I was better than Ginobili.
You can be great at something and still be wrong. And this idea that only real hoopers will understand his stance is just a baseless claim to negate anyone's
That's an excuse for
opinion
everything. Only real hoopers understand. Only real hoopers understand. Oh, you're just using that as an excuse, bro.
that don't align with his.
Can't fool me. I'm familiar with your game.
Some play the
Whoop-dee-doo!
game, some watch the game. I understand the difference between a
It depends on how you watch, though. You watch it as a fan, you're going to be a casual. You can watch it as like a player / coach, then you're going to have knowledge
play the game.
instantly.
Some watch the game. I
But if you like, you know what I'm saying? If you do a combination of playing and watching, then you automatically going to have some knowledge. You know?
understand the
But you just watch it as a fan, you going to be a casual.
difference between a hooper and someone who just plays or even just casually watches basketball. But being good at playing the game and really understanding the game and what makes players great are two separate things. I'm no expert, but guys like Ben Taylor, Zach Lowe, and Kevin O'Connor are excellent NBA analysts who really
Yep. I wonder if they can make a layup or catch the ball. Whoop-dee-doo!
understand
That's all
the
I wanna
finer
know.
nuances of the game, and yet they
You
never
can talk
played
it. Let's see if you can play it.
at any significant level.
You can talk
This
the talk.
all
Let's see if you can
reminds me
walk the
of
walk.
quote, "Those who can, do. Those who can't, teach." Some of the greatest coaches were
Michael
just
Jordan said that?
do. Those who can't, teach. This all reminds me of the quote, "Those who can, do.
Michael Jordan said this?
Those who can't, teach." Some of the greatest coaches were just pretty good basketball players, but
supposed
not
to.
even close to NBA talent. And some of the best players are absolutely lost without a jersey on and a ball in their hands. You do not have to be a real hooper to really understand the game and have a passion for it and have
Facts.
well thought out, informed, and reputable opinions on it. Now, our next take comes from a fan that's
I like Austin Rivers as an analyst. I like Austin Rivers. And I like him as a player, too. It's solid.
he thinks Giannis is overpaid for a guy who can only run and dunk. Now, this has been the narrative on Giannis even before he won a championship nearly 3 years
Because
ago.
Harden said that. Harden, see what you did? You did. What's that word? Irreplaceable damage or something like that to the NBA community.
Guy run,
Who said
big
that
guy
back in
dunk.
2020.
But I don't get this line of reasoning. That's like saying Stephen Curry is overpaid for a guy that only shoots threes, or that Magic Johnson was good for a guy that could only pass. Even the greats have their strengths and weaknesses. Shaquille O'Neal literally made a living by being bigger and stronger than everyone else. Imagine seeing this and saying, that's not bad for a guy who just drop steps and dunks everything. Well, yeah, no one could stop it. This is exactly what made him so good. Now, if a player has a very one-dimensional game that falls apart and is ineffective when it matters, like the playoffs, then there might be some merit to this statement. But Giannis has won a title. The man dropped 50 to close out a finals series just running and dunking. That's his role. That's what he's good at, and it works. In fact, he's expanded
I
his
dare
game
you to stop it. I dare you to stop it.
over the last few
Yeah.
years with three-pointers and more perimeter play.
Just foul him.
And ironically, whenever
You
he
foul
does
out,
this,
buddy.
people just say, "Why is he shooting threes instead of just running?"
Yeah,
and
don't say,
dunking
but he just runs and dunks. He just runs and dunks, but when he shoots a three, oh, why is he shooting threes?
the ball? If you're getting the job done, how you get it done is irrelevant.
Exposing
This
all
is a
y'all
bad
right now.
take. This next take comes from an NBA fan that says that Steph Curry is top 10 all time. And not only
2K got him at number 11. You know the little 2K mocker, if you got 24, you see the GOATs here? They got him at number 11.
I agree with this. I don't even think this is a hot take anymore. And yet somehow, in the great year of 2024, there are still people out there who don't think Steph is in the pantheon of NBA greats. His impact on the game, his dominance, his revolutionary skill set, his place as inarguably the greatest shooter of all time, all make him clearly a top 10 player. But I think it's his shortcomings and small hiccups throughout his career that keep some fans from putting him amongst the greatest to ever play. Kevin Durant joining the Warriors, the 3-1 comeback, this nonsense narrative that all he does is run around moving screens and chuck up threes. But while considering all of Steph's imperfections, we tend to forget that that every all-time great has had their shortcomings or even questionable victories. Hakeem won his 2 championships in the 2 seasons Michael Jordan was retired and wasn't around to defend his title. Kareem, regarded by most as the 3rd greatest player ever, has 6 championships but only 2 finals MVPs since he played with the greatest point guard of all time for a decade. Kobe was the 2nd best player for 3 of his championships. Duncan won his first title in a weird half-ass lockout season and was not the best player on the Spurs in their last title run. Larry Bird was playing with the damn dream team when he did all of his damage. As time goes by, we tend to overlook or even forget about the bad and focus on the good. I think this will happen.
And RP Len Bias too. RP Len Bias. I think Len Bias was to play with them too.
Of his damage. As time goes by, we tend to overlook or even forget about the bad and focus on the good. I think this will happen with Steph as he nears the end of his career. And everyone will start to see that he is without a doubt one of the 10 greatest players of all time. Now, this next take comes from a fan who has fallen victim to a narrative that has ran rampant over the last year. Ever since LeBron James broke the NBA's all-time scoring record,
they lost that game.
Season, fans have been theorizing who might be the player to
Ross
break
was there though, so it's not his fault.
Others, this fan says it will be Luka Doncic. My brothers, Luka Doncic is not breaking LeBron's scoring record. In fact, no one in the NBA today, or even any upcoming prospects, will break LeBron's scoring record. I would even go as far as saying this record will not be broken within our lifetime. Records are made to be broken, it's only a matter of time. Yeah. Whatever LeBron ends up with, no one is
Oh yeah, LeBron's still playing, that's right. Whoop-de-doo! I forgot.
I get that.
I thought LeBron was retired for a second.
Obvious prime candidate to get the job done.
He probably won't.
He is
and LeBron's still averaging like 25. Yeah, Luka. Yeah, I don't know you gonna catch it. Now that I think about it.
Was at this point in his career. Luka is nearly 5.5 seasons into his NBA career and has 10,177 total career points. At the exact same point in his career, LeBron already had 11,621 career points.
LeBron came out of high school, and Luka, you know, the rules, you gotta be at least 19 to enter the draft. So, yeah.
Points. That's nearly a full season worth of points, off pace already. And the scoring gap between LeBron and many other young stars around the league is even bigger. In fact, at the pace he is on, Luka would have to keep scoring the ball like he has been and play in the NBA until 2042 to break the record LeBron will more than likely end up with. But not only did LeBron get out to arguably the greatest start in NBA history, he never had a major injury in over 20 years. And he's also having the greatest finish to a career in NBA history. Does this look like a man who is going to play over 20 years in the NBA? Even with
this man's playing a different sport than basketball, bro. You think he really played 20 years?
Players don't even play enough games anymore to keep up with LeBron's pace. Say LeBron plays 2 more seasons after this
I can do it in 2K.
Putting up the same numbers he is now. And say a player manages to be the most lethal scorer ever. MJ has the highest career points per game average in NBA history at 30.1 points. So this new player is literally scoring like Michael Jordan from the moment he steps foot in the league. Now, if that player played 70 games a season, averaging 30.1 points a game for every year, he would have to play for 22 seasons to break LeBron's scoring record. 30 a game for 22 years straight, with no margin for injuries, breaks, or any regression. It is not happening. Some records are just unbeatable. Bill Russell's 11 rings.
I saw a clip of Wilt Chamberlain walking to Martin Luther King's funeral. And someone said they have this on camera, but no one had that 100-point game on camera. Whoop-de-doo!
Will never
That's
be
crazy.
topped. John Stockton's assist record, it's not going anywhere. LeBron's scoring record will be the same. You and I will never see this record get broken. Now, our last take is a scorcher, and I couldn't agree more with it. This guy said,
ordinary is the opposite of beautiful.
I mean, how you talking about flu on the court? I don't use that.
Says that many, if not most, NBA fans don't actually watch games. They just watch clips, highlights, and gather stats to form their opinions.
Facts.
And in my experience, This is absolutely true.
Yeah.
If you want to really
Same
know
with me.
what's going on from game to game and have a solid idea of who's having a good year, who's not, why some players are making leaps while others are taking steps back, why some teams are winning and others aren't, you need to watch the games.
Yeah.
It's a wild concept. I know.
I only watch my favorite teams though. You know what I'm saying? NBA teams play every night, bro. You can't watch all games. Just watch your favorite team. Let's start from there. You know what I'm saying? Let's watch your favorite team.
And time
If you want to have more knowledge, have knowledge about your favorite team, the team that you watch the most. That's all.
Yeah.
You don't gotta watch every single game. You don't gotta be knowledgeable about every single team, just about your team.
Fans will have their entire perception of the league curated purely off of stats. And
We all got
highlights.
lives.
Isaiah Joe
We
is
can't just sit
having
there and watch
an
NBA
awesome
basketball all day, every day.
year. He's played a vital role in OKC's rotation and
He's a
filled
shooter,
lot of
I know.
gaps for them on both ends of the court. You would not know this unless you watch them play. In fact, you might not even know who Isaiah Joe is if you don't watch OKC play. Russell Westbrook has been a demon on defense for the past
Yep.
month, guarding the opposing team's
And guess what? He said he even want to make an all defensive team. What did you?
perimeter players, breaking up sets, getting into passing lanes, just being a pest, and pushing the pace for the Clippers. He has been awesome in his role this season. You would not know this if you don't watch the
Yep.
games. Nikola Jokic has seen a dip in production over the last 10 games or so. His numbers are down. This might have you believing he's having a bad stretch of games here. He is not.
Nope.
The man is
I knew
on
it.
cruise control. They are winning games, and that's all he cares about. But you would not know this if you don't watch the games.
I think he did that the 2020 when they made it to the Western Conference Finals and lost to the Lakers.
Now, there's nothing wrong with casual fandom. Not everyone wants to sit around and watch
You shocked Stephen A. casual.
the games. Now, there's nothing wrong with casual fandom. Not everyone wants to sit around and watch a game between the Blazers and the Jazz at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday. But context matters, and not enough fans are getting it. Watch the games, my friends.
Yeah, that's why they're on TV, so people can watch.
I got for
Whoop-de-doo.
now. Y'all know the drill. Leave your hottest NBA takes
Unless you're doing like the NFL and put the NBA games on Peacock and Amazon Prime Video and putting the NBA Finals on HBO Max.
in the comments below. And of course,
Then y'all have an
the hotter
excuse.
the better.
W video, Jimmy High Roller. Really enjoyed it.